What we're finding is that those 160 million Facebook fans that we have and the 2 to 3 million Twitter followers we have around our shows, those are now lead generators for traffic to our website. We're finding that about 15% on average, month to month, is about how much traffic is driven to CBS.com through those social leads. And what's so great about that is that originally, it used to be that you get direct traffic, you get some search traffic, and there's a smattering of other partnerships that you have that drive traffic to your site. We now have a new source, and it's helping us grow the site. Now we're seeing 15 and 20% growth year over year to the site, and we don't know if it's all coming specifically from that social traffic, but we know that that's a big portion of our traffic now, and that's fantastic. What we know about retention from those people is that they're actually coming from fan pages of the show, or from Twitter followers of the show, or friends of those people. So we know that they have some engagement to the show to start with. So when they are delivered to the site, they are a more engaged person by definition than a random search provider delivers. And then we've even seen big numbers, not just 15% on a daily basis, but we've had days where 40, 50% of the traffic of the site is driven by a social media mention. For example, on How I Met Your Mother, they recently hit 20 million fans on Facebook. We had the cast do a shout out to the fans saying thank you. That video drove somewhere between 40 and 50% of the traffic to CBS.com for that day, and that's a really big spike for us. We do embed video onto Facebook directly and let it be played there and serve advertising there, but often we're using those videos or other things as leads to get them back to our site. The full episodes play on basically our site plus a few other key partner sites only, not on Facebook. So if we're trying to get people to watch more full episodes, we're driving them that way. I think what we specifically say to advertisers is these aren't just your average run-of-the-mill users. These are users who are dedicated fans of our shows, who are deeply engaged in either characters or things around our programming. And so you're going to get more out of that user. You're going to get a greater ad retention. You're going to have them complete more ads. They're going to be more engaged in the show just in general. So we find them to be really some of the best users that we get onto the site in terms of performance. I think there's a couple ways we use it. One is that, look, now a large portion of our traffic, or a significant portion at 15%, is driven by social, and that means that's an engaged audience coming, and we can do that on a natural basis. I think the second thing is that for live viewing, we now have people that are active around the show on a constant basis, and the more people that are doing that, I think the more it proves that those fans are engaged in that show, and everyone knows that if you have a more engaged audience, that you're going to have a deeper retention and a better performance for the advertisers in that show. And then the third thing is we're developing specific social programs around especially our event programming, but certainly other programming, to allow advertisers to get really involved in something very, very social around, something specific. I mean, the Grammys is the one we use as the best example, most social TV event ever. We had two big social programs running around that. One was a social media reporter that Paulie Perrette from NCIS was our reporter for the weekend, running around doing a lot of things, with Twitter and Facebook all around the weekend. And then the other was a contest on Facebook called Garage to Grammys Live, essentially a battle of the bands for young unknown bands to try to get their way to the Grammys, or the day before the Grammys. So two big social programs that an advertiser could actually purchase and own around it. So
that enables that, definitely. So I think something that's inherently different about Twitter from the very beginning, from very design, is the invent of the asymmetrical follow. It's not necessarily a friend-to-friend network.